Move it slightly. Alright, anyway. The next day, Leanna and I get up bright and early. We decide to practice sparring before the others wake up. Our swords clash with a score of heavy blows. Wow. Leanna forces me backwards with a huge grin on her face. I'm breathing hard and struggling to keep up as my brows knit in concentration. Leanna sweeps my blade aside and then comes back around, but I swing in time to deflect it. Her face brightens as she seems pleasantly surprised.
Wow, that's great! You're getting much better.
Really? Leanna's grin turns devilish.
Hi-ya!
She lunges and I let out a sharp cry, barely raising my sword in time. Her movements quicken as she strikes harder. I struggle to keep up, but I manage to hold my own. Ultimately, Leanna's final move knocks me to the ground. I groan, blinking up at the sky. It's hard to breathe with the wind knocked out of me. Are our spars always going to end like this? Leanna's face appears over mine. She smiles brightly.
That was so much better.
I lost yet again, though.
This time. But you're getting stronger and stronger every time.
That cheers me up a little. Leanna extends her hand and helps me up.
Let's switch gears. You've been doing really well with sparring, so we should practice your magic training. You need to learn to refine your cast.
Bitch, I got it. Did you see that big ass storm I made? We'll be fine. I got it. I made a tornado. I know she's right, so I nod. I'm feeling more confident about it now that I know I can cast. I think back on the countless previous training sessions and the frustrations that came with it. Even though I know I still have much to learn before I reach anywhere near Leanna's level, I'm just glad to be past those early stages.
Alright, practice channeling your energy through your manipulator. And this time, keep your focus on where you want to cast.
Float the pango! Can I float the pango? Oh, that's a little bit not good. Let's do that next time. I say that every time. Let's not do anything dumb here. Let's do the only sensible thing, which is clearly that. No, just kidding. My attention lasers in on a nearby walk. How do I want to do this? Power overwhelming. Power underwhelming. What? Is that power overwhelming? Oh, fuck. That's an album name. Hey, one of the voice actors is part of that album. Wow. Power underwhelming. That's my album name. Let's shoot that rock really far. I close my eyes and focus. Am I gonna hit Leanna in the head here? I'm gonna knock her out. Blast shoots flying into the air. The muscles in my hand are strained with effort as I try to keep the rocks up. Several of them drop to the ground with dull thuds. The largest stone stays hovering in the air, but it's shaking. I pour out more energy to try to keep it steady. It only sends the rocks flying higher and higher. Leanna extends her hand. The rock stops trembling. She brings everything back under control, making the rock levitate perfectly. What was that?
That was a little too much energy, but not bad.
Leanna looks around and points at a large rock.
Try again on this rock.
Don't tell me what to do. Just kidding. You can tell me what to do anytime. I take a deep breath, clearing my mind, and cast again. As usual, a solid gust of wind bursts forth, and I steadily float the rock in the air. Leanna claps her hands together, a wide grin on her face.
Yes, that's it.
Hey, I'm doing it. Hey, I'm doing it. No way. Aren't you like 20-something, buddy? You can get over it. It's fine. The Pongo glances at the floating rock curiously.
Hi.
I'm gonna eat it. At one motion, he jumps straight onto the rock, or right onto the rock. The movement startles me, and the rock jolts in midair. Oh, it's a game now. The Pongo wobbles precariously, and I can feel the nerves set in again as I fight to steady the rock.
It's okay. Don't panic. Just keep your focus. Try to float them towards you.
This is precise ass wind magic. I just realized that. Like, how does this even work? Jesus. Alright. It's just heavier now, so I had to adjust my energy output. I breathe in and out and refocus. The rock stops swaying.
Good. Keep going.
Ugh. A strong breeze wisps around the pongo, keeping him in place. I close my eyes and picture him floating closer.
You got this.
I open my eyes. The pongo with the rock... Oops. The rock with the pongo floats closer and closer. A huge grin blooms across my face. It's working! Wow, I'm not stupid. The pongo jumps from the rock onto my head. As soon as the pongo touches me, I lose my concentration and drop the rock. Ow. Hannah giggles.
Great job.
The pongo wiggles on top of my head. Thanks for being a good sport. Leanna giggles and I pat the pongo.
I think that's enough training for today. You've made great progress.
Thanks. I can feel the fatigue start to set in, and I'm grateful to Leanna for ending the session.
Let's go rejoin the group.
Yeah, they should all be awake by now, I think. Leanna nods, and the three of us return to camp. As I predicted, everyone else is awake and even have breakfast prepared. Right on. Give me some of them waffles. Or something. After we eat and clean up camp, we resume our journey. After a couple days' travel, we continue to journey along the path when I notice thick clouds darken the sky. Wow, this is really upsetting. Hey, I've been here before. Kara and Leanna cast worried glances above as a loud crack of thunder roils above.
This does not look promising.
Excellent observation, sweetheart.
We should find shelter. We don't want to be caught in this storm.
Amelia cross-references where we are with Elder Issam's notes.
We are still quite a ways from Ellendale.
Fuck.
Then we'd better stop at the next city we see.
I think I have an idea of where we are. If I recall correctly, Wolfsden should only be a few hours' travel. We can stop there.
A few hours and there's a storm directly above us. This is fantastic. Once agreed, we pick up the pace to combat the strengthening wind whipping at us and make course for Wolfsden. If it's even actually here, because she only said she had an idea. This is great. Fantastic. Ow. I just had to... Ugh. Where am I? Eventually we see the tall towers of Wolfsden. How do I know there are tall towers of Wolfsden? I've never been here! We shuffle through the city gates, casting worried glances at the ominous sky. The turbulent clouds don't look any less threatening. Sorry, I was trying to understand that for a second. People keep their heads down as they push past each other on the streets. They must be looking for shelter from the storm. I look at the surrounding buildings. Most are storefronts, which blend into each other as if trying to stay as inconspicuous as possible. As we travel deeper into the town, a few opulent buildings loom in the sky. I guess that's where the better half lives. Yikers. Leanna shifts uncomfortably.
Is it just me, or are people staring at us?
Looking around, I notice all the furtive glances towards Leanna as people give us a wide berth in passing.
No, they're staring at you.
Zack's comment seems to make her even more anxious. Who wouldn't stare? Right on, buddy. Well done. You can always just grab onto my arm and then no one will stare at you. It's fine, because then they're staring at you because they think you're pretty. Hi, this is a thing that happened. Ugh, I'm gonna leave that there. Let's try to keep her hidden. I step closer to her as I try to block her from view. She blinks in surprise and gives me a small smile.
Thanks, but I'm not sure how much that will help.
Maybe it will discourage them from staring.
When you remember what kind of town Wolfsden is, it's no surprise everyone is staring.
Well, I don't know anything about that. I give Kara a questioning look. And what sort of town is it?
Let's just say that what happens in Wolfsden stays in Wolfsden.
So why are they not staring at you? Wait, what? Leanna covers the sigil on her manipulator with one hand.
Maybe this isn't the best place for me to be advertising that I'm a part of the Mage Guild.
Zack nods.
Agreed. You're making them nervous.
I don't know what happened here. I don't need a history lesson. I feel like Mage Knights did some bad shit. There it is. The stairs remind me of when I first arrived in Meadow Hill. Should we find you a change of clothes to blend in more?
That is a satisfactory suggestion. But perhaps it should be executed without the presence of Leanna. The longer she is in the streets, the more attention she draws.
Good point. Let's hurry up and find the inn. Leanna can stay there, and I'll help her find a more suitable outfit.
I wonder if the outfits actually change. This is going to be fun. I really hope they do. As the wind picks up, more people creep out of shadowed alleyways as they seek shelter. I instinctively check my pockets. Something about this place has me on edge. Leanna is equally anxious. While Amy's expression doesn't change, she does seem more alert than usual. Only Zack and Kara seem unaffected. You could just grab my arm and I can do this little thing, whatever it is, and it'll be fine. Before long, we reach the inn. I let out a relieved breath as the fire crackling in the hearth warms me. Hearthstone. Who cares? Hearthstone. Kara and Zack go to secure us rooms and food as the rest of us sit down in a secluded back corner. Although the lobby is full of people, it's more quiet than the other inns we've frequented. Than the other inns we've frequented. Most patrons drink alone. And those in groups murmur softly, trying not to draw attention to themselves. We aroused a few curious glances when we walked in, but once we shuffled out of sight, people relaxed and forgot about us. The silence grows stifling as both Leanna and Amelia wait for the rest of the group to come back. As I'm wondering if I should say something, Leanna addresses Amy.
There's something that I've been wondering since Hearthpoint, but I haven't had a chance to ask.
Amy shifts her attention to Leanna.
Your mother mentioned that it's taken you a while to get a field study approved.
Yes, that is correct. I understand that such things take time as professors want to ensure the study is a proper fit for the student, but I will admit that I am beginning to become impatient.
Well, here you are. She sighs.
Was the process for your field study equally taxing?
Leanna shakes her head.
No, I actually got the first one I applied for.
Amy blinks, then her eyes grow wide.
You were accepted upon your first application?
Yeah.
She stares at Leanna.
Maybe the process is different for mage knights and mage casters.
Amy continues to stare. Leanna looks at me and I shrug.
Amy?
I do not understand. I have completed all the prerequisites necessary to apply for a field study. I have even attended supplementary training to increase my potential for the selection. For all intents and purposes, I should be the most ideal candidate for the mandatory field study.
Is it just your professor's recommendation that you need?
Correct, but I have been repeatedly told that the field study is not a good fit for me.
Leanna rests her head in her hand as she thinks.
Do you think it has something to do with your age?
Amy frowns.
My age should not be an eligibility factor. I have proven myself to be capable enough to study as a mage caster.
This is pretty strange. And they haven't given you a specific reason why you keep getting declined?
I wonder how much she's put in. 60,000. Amelia shakes her head.
I am quite perplexed by the situation, especially now that I understand my difficulties are not standard.
I can feel the frustration behind her words. It sounds like the Academy has it out for her, and I think she's only just started to realize that she's being treated differently. That sucks. I think it's an age issue. I don't think I want to say that. Let's say you should talk to your professors. If it really shouldn't be this hard to get into a program, you should have a serious discussion with your professors when you return. Give them a chance to communicate their concerns and explain why they haven't approved you. Leanna nods.
I'm sure they have their reasons, and it would help you to know why.
Yes. Amy looks pensive as the conversation dies down. Sorry. Kara and Zack soon return with bowls of food, which we quickly eat. As we push our empty bowls away, Kara drops a key into Leanna's hand.
Okay, so here's a key to our room. You can go upstairs and lay low for the rest of the night. I'll go check the shops and grab an outfit for you.
I want to come! She winks at Leanna.
Don't worry, it'll still be cute.
Zack silently hands me a key for our room. What about the storm?
Oh, I'll be okay. Zack will come with me.
Zack crosses his arms.
I didn't agree to this.
Kara feigns hurt.
Do you mean to say that you would let a young woman venture outside into the storm, in the middle of the night, in a dangerous city all on her own?
Zack's eyebrow twitches, but he tries to remain steadfast.
Guilt tripping me won't work.
Who knows what sort of ruffians are walking the streets this late? If they were to get the jump on me, then...
Okay, fine. I'll go with you. Jeez.
He pushes himself to his feet. Carr grins widely.
I knew you'd come around.
I'm only doing this so you can't blame anything on me later.
Carr smiles and drags Zack with her as they head towards the doors.
We'll be back soon.
We watch them exit in silence.
Well, I'm gonna call it a night.
As will I.
It is getting pretty late, and the thought of a real bed is very tempting after having to camp out for so many nights. I think I'll turn in too. Together we head upstairs, then split into our separate rooms. I relax in my bed for a while, enjoying the peacefulness of the night as I wait to fall asleep. Bongo mysteriously emerges from somewhere and hops onto my bed. He bounces over and leans against me before finding a comfortable spot on my bed to sleep. I'm not sure how much time passes, but eventually I hear Zack return to the room and go to bed. I fall asleep not too long after. Fuck. Please, dear God, tell me her outfit changes. I really need this. Muffled steps in the hallway pull me awake. Blinking my eyes, I look around. The sun struggles to shine through the overcast sky, making it hard to determine just what time it is. Judging by the noise from outside, I'm guessing it's well into the late morning or early afternoon. Zack's bed is empty while the Pongo snores softly by my feet. He wakes up as I carefully crawl out of bed and after blinking bleary eyes, grins widely at me.
Hi.
Good morning. Or, I guess, good afternoon. Yawning widely, I push myself completely out of once. I wonder what the others are up to and what this city has to offer. Ready to go downstairs? Pongo shies away and buries himself in my blankets.
Boy.
Huh, that's a weird reaction. You don't want to go exploring today?
Boy.
Exploring? Sorry, I didn't like to say that. The Pongo shakes his head. Check on him? I peel back the blankets until he pokes his head free. You okay?
Boy.
He grins at me and looks a little more like his cheerful self. Okay, good. Well, I'm going to go downstairs. You sure you don't want to come? He looks uneasy again and submerges back into the blankets.
Boy.
I guess he just doesn't like it here. Leaving the Pongo alone, I exit my room and head for the stairs. Before I reach them, I hear a strange noise coming from above. Is there an attic in this place? Nope, I've seen horror films. That's accurate. Investigate! I tiptoe towards where I heard the noise and find a pull-down staircase already lowered. I slowly begin to climb up. Oh yeah, tension, noise, music. Give me that shit! That's that good shit. As I get closer, I recognize a noise as a series of hushed poise. Oh my god! Oh my god. This is amazing. Oh Jesus. Oh, this is good. Oh, this is good. This is good shit right here. How did they pull down staircase? One may never know. The poise cease as I poke my head up into the attic. Sitting in front of a card table is a large Pongo, the pudgiest Pongo I've encountered yet. Wearing a three-piece suit and sporting a pencil mustache. A cigar hangs from his mouth. Two Pongo thugs sit on either side of the table. Oh, they're looking at me. They all freeze and stare at me. Too shocked to react, I stare back at them. After what feels like an eternity, the pudgy Pongo lowers his cigar. I better get out of here before he makes me a poifer I can't refuse. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm glad I did that. I lower myself out of the room and quickly head down the stairs. I think I know why my Pongo didn't want to leave the room today. There's some Pongo thugs up in this bitch. I think it's best to pretend that never happened. Shaking my head, I go downstairs to the lobby. That was funny. He has a cigar in his... Oh, that's the best thing ever. The lobby is as busy as it was the night before, with the same number of people filling the tables. The exact same, I counted. I spot Zack exactly where I expected him to be, right in front of the bounty boards. Kara nurses a drink alone at one of the tables, but I don't see Leanna or Amy anywhere. I bet Leanna's in her room, Let's talk to Kara. She's right here. I plop down at the table across from Kara. She raises an eyebrow as I sit. Is there an issue? Say it to my face! Hey, Kara.
Hey.
She looks amused as she takes a sip of her drink. Got any exciting plans today? She shrugs. Yeah, same here. There's gotta be something more exciting to do. What do you think? A sly smile spreads across her face. She throws back her drink and slams the empty mug on the table.
I think I know exactly what we should do.
I'm not sure I trust that look. What does she have planned? What do you have in mind?
We're going to go gambling.
Uh-oh. Wait, actually? Wait, is this legit? Wait, is this legit? Is this legit? Is this legit? Is this legit right now? Let's see what this is. Going outside in the storm? Wait, didn't he just say it was sunny outside? Wouldn't you want to stay here and hang out somewhere more secluded? Kara shakes her head.
No, I think I'd rather go gambling. Let's get going, my friend.
Uh-oh. I follow Kara out of the inn. This is happening. The streets are deserted as the clouds roil overhead. I glance cautiously at the sky, but Kara remains unconcerned as she surveys the shops along the streets. Finally, she stops in front of a gaudy building. Bright crystals illuminate the sign as they flash distractingly on and off. This place sticks out like a sore thumb. Kara grins as she pushes open the doors. Hey, it's the mayor's house. I follow her in and blink as my eyes adjust to the dim room. Even if I hadn't known where we were going, I would have instantly recognized this place as a casino. Half of the room is lined with some flashy slot machines, powered by mini crystals, while the other half is filled with tables. Both players and onlookers crowd the tables. In fact, the casino is packed with people. Clearly, the storm is not enough to keep these people from their games.
So, see anything you like?
She gestures at the tables. You pick. She weaves among the tables, taking cursory glances at each game before deciding.
Have you played Shadow Knaves?
Ah, fuck, what is that? How do you play?
The goal is to reach a numerical value of 21 with
duh.
the cards you're dealt.
What did you say it was? Shadow Knaves? Blackjack? Whatever.
You'll start with 2 cards, and you could choose to add cards or stand depending on what you have.
That's blackjack! Oh, I know this game. We have a version of it back home.
Perfect! Then you'll be a pro. Ready to play?
Uh-oh. Oh, no! Okay, Sure! There, you happy? She grins. After the remaining seats at the table are filled, the dealer begins first round. He slides 2 cards face up. Although the numbers look the same, the suits of these... Okay, so this is interesting. This is a game of blackjack, which is predetermined. So... This is... I mean, technically all games of blackjack are predetermined, but, like... This is a different kind of predetermined. Like, you know, when the deck is shuffled, like, it's kind of predetermined, but this is an actual predetermined game of blackjack. So this is really interesting. Although the numbers look the same, the suits of these cards are unfamiliar. I have what looks like a 7 of crystals and a 9 of swirly dots. Looking around the table, my competitors have a total of 18, 13, 7, and 20. Wow, some guy basically already won. Wait, what did it... Fuck, I didn't know what to do! Oh, I had a 16. I should have been hit! I should have hit it! Fuck me, there was no way I could have won. Because he had a 20. Fuck me, I fucking goddamn piece of shit. Let's see what this happens. Play a couple more rounds before bowing out. Kara is somehow a blackjack master and pretty much kills it every round. Some of the scowls on the other patients deepen, but I'm glad I'm not part of the game. They do not look happy losing all that money. I browse a few of the other tables and recognize Terra versions of craps and roulette. I don't know these games. It's funny how we have fairly similar games, although I suppose not too unexpected considering we're fairly similar worlds. Gambling is gambling. I return to the blackjack table just in time to see Kara abruptly stand.
Time to go.
But what about trying? Kara has a grin plastered on her face and she shakes her head.
Maybe next time, but I think we've had enough gambling for one day. It's time to cash out.
Not even one more
Really,
game?
it's about time we get going. Trust me.
She doesn't seem like she'll let up. I shrug and follow her. After cashing out, Kara hastens out of the casino. This is like, this is hardcore Casinopolis from Sonic Adventure right now, dude. This music is great. I jogged to catch up with her. Something weird is going on. So what was that all about? You made people mad, didn't you? Why were you in such a hurry to leave? She smiles innocently.
It was just time for us to go.
Uh-huh. You were totally up to something shady, weren't you?
I don't know what you mean.
Sure, I bet you were counting cards. Kara blinks.
Oh, you noticed?
Wait, what?
What?
That's being resourceful! That's really impressive. You're using your skill set to up the odds in your favor. Kara seems pleased.
Thank you. I'm happy you understand.
I give credit where it's due. Besides, it's not like that giant business will miss the money anyway.
It's true. There are a few people I could think of who could put that money to better use.
You mean like orphans? Kara whips her head around and stares at me with wide eyes. More specifically, those orphans back at Stonecrest?
How'd you know about that?
I saw you there. I wanted to share my money with them too. Her expression softens.
You gave them money too.
I nod. I felt bad for them.
Yeah. They were just trying to survive in the only way they knew how. I thought if I shared my reward with them, maybe they'll find a way where they won't need to steal again.
Well, now I feel guilty only giving a portion of my reward. She laughs.
Your heart was in the right place.
So what should we do now? A mischievous grin spreads across her face.
Let's go to another casino.
There's more? I laugh. This can only be trouble. I follow her to another casino where we go through the same routine. After winning big again, we part ways and I head back to the inn. What can we can talk to Zack. I assume this probably won't be anything too weird. I approach Zack at the boards. Hey. He glances at me, then nods in acknowledgement. See anything good?
Yes, actually.
I look at the boards and let out a breath of surprise. Whereas most of the boards at the inn only have a few flyers pinned at a time, this board is covered in wanted posters. Whoa, that's a lot of bounties. Zack grins.
Check out the payout on these things.
He points to a poster of a scarred man with a grizzled face and deep frown. Underneath his mugshot lists a number with more zeros than what has ever existed in my bank account. Damn. Zack nods. I can't help myself as I continue to scan the board, taking note of the offered bounties. Zack grins as he throws my words back at me.
See anything good?
I'll stick to my J job. Point to a hot wanted woman's bounty. This is all the money. Let's go. Let's just agree with him. I point to one of the highest offered rewards. That looks pretty tempting to me.
Yep.
All the mercenaries should just come to Wolfsden and check out the bounty board here.
A lot of them do.
Really?
Why do you think this inn is so full?
I look around the inn again. That would explain why so many patrons are just people drinking alone. One such man pushes himself unsteadily to his feet and sways over to the board. He leans in until his nose is nearly touching one of the posters, then nods in satisfaction. As he's about to stumble away, he pauses when he sees Zack. He stares at him for an uncomfortably long time.
Hey, don't I know you?
Drunk man, with no spaces. Zack barely bats an eye.
No.
Nice. The drunk is undeterred and comes closer. He peers at Zack again, trying to get his eyes to focus. Zack steps back as the man nears. Suddenly, the man straightens up excitedly.
No way. You're the Death Slinger.
Death Slinger? At the mention of the name, the inn falls silent. Then tendrils of whispers begin to snake around us.
You're mistaken.
Zack's expression is stonier than usual, but the drunk is unfazed.
I never thought I'd see you here. But it makes sense. Everybody makes it to Wolfsden sooner or later.
You have the wrong guy.
The drunk squints and shakes his head.
It must be you. The trench coat, scar over one eye.
The whispers increase into hurried murmurs as all of the eyes fall on us. The drunk thinks for a second.
But do you have purple dischargers too?
He reaches towards Zack, Zack's holstered dischargers, but Zack smoothly steps away.
If I were the Death Slinger, would you really want to piss me off?
Well done, buddy. Zack's icy warning causes the inn to fall silent again. The drunk sways precariously as the muddled gears in his head turn. Then understanding finally dawns.
Oh, right. I'll leave you alone. Sorry.
What a guy. What a drunk guy. That's great. Fantastic. As the man stumbles back to his table, Zack sits down at an empty table in the corner. I silently follow, feeling the weight of everyone's gaze. When I sit down, Zack glares at the people around us, which causes them to quickly turn back to their tables and resume whatever they were doing. Many of them suddenly seem very interested in their drinks. Zack doesn't seem inclined to talk, but the silence is stifling. So, I mean, he kind of just admitted to it. So, are you the Death Slinger? Zack just fixes me in an unamused look. I guess humor was not the way to go to break the ice. The innkeeper walks over and places 2 drinks on the table. Zack looks at him and he quickly speaks.
On the house, we don't want any trouble here.
Zack nods and takes a sip from one of the drinks.
Thanks.
A look of relief washes over the innkeeper's face as he walks away. Gradually, life returns to the inn as people lose interest in us. So, who exactly is the Death Slinger?
He's a mercenary.
Most mercenaries don't silence an entire inn at the mention of their name.
You're right.
He takes another drink. I wait for him to continue, but he doesn't. I don't think I'll be getting any more out of him now. Since things have begun to feel more normal, I relax a bit and take a sip of my drink. Zack and I quietly finish the rest of our drinks. Although his stony frown has lessened, I think it's best to give him some space. I say my goodbyes and leave the table.